Welcome back, everybody. Today we are reviewing the Iron Fist Season 1. I'm Bladen, that's Joe. We have committed ourselves to rewatching the entirety of the MCU in preparation for Avengers Secret Wars, the end of the MCU as we know it. This is the 20th episode.
Nice.
And it's Iron Fist.
Which, definitely isn't the highest point, but,
yeah. What do you do?
It's not bad. At least from my memory of it.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'll do a quick rundown of the episode names and then a quick synopsis, and then we'll get into the questions.
Yep.
So, Episode 1, Snow Gives Way. Episode 2, Shadow Hawk Takes Flight. Episode 3, Rolling Thunder, Cannon Punch. Episode 4, 8 Diagram Dragon Palm. Episode 5, Underleaf Pluck Lotus. Episode 6, Immortal Emerges from Cave. Episode 7, Felling Tree with Roots. Episode 8, The Blessing of Many Fractures. Episode 9, The Mistress of All Agonies. Episode 10, Black Tiger Steals Heart. Episode 11, Led Horse Back to Stable. Episode 12, Bar the Big Boss. And Episode 13, Dragon Plays with Fire. So, quick synopsis. Iron Fist follows Danny Rand, a young man who returns to New York City after being presumed dead for 15 years. Trained in the mystical city of Kunlun, he possesses incredible martial arts skills and the ability to summon the power of the Iron Fist, which he uses to fight against the criminal elements corrupting the city while reclaiming his family's legacy. So, any hot takes about this show?
Yeah, it's not as bad as I've heard.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought starting this show that I was going to see like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, because that's what everyone has always told me about the show.
Season 2 is very rough in the first half, and I think that's where a lot of the hate comes from.
Because the first season, I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, no. I liked
it.
the first season a lot, too, back when I watched it. I mean, admittedly, I gotta watch it again at some point. But, yeah. No, I liked the casting choice. I know they race swapped Colleen Wing and stuff. Like, I didn't mind the race swaps there. I really liked the casting for Ward and Joy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were really well cast.
Yeah, Ward is a really interesting character in this show.
Is their dad in this first season? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of spoiler territory. What is his mental state in this first season?
He starts out by like manipulating Ward into like doing stuff, and then he like kills his assistant for not liking the ice cream he bought him.
That's one of my favorite scenes in all of the Netflix shows. Honestly, that is one of my favorite scenes, because literally he's like, I can get you any flavor of ice cream you want. Like, we're about to celebrate, dude. And the guy's like, oh, I just want vanilla. And it's like, no, dude, I will get you anything you want. No, vanilla's fine for me. Gives him one more chance. He's like, really? Vanilla is all you're going to take? And then he's like, yeah, just vanilla. And I was like, yeah, no, he kind of deserves it.
And then he beats him to death with an ice cream scooper.
Yeah.
What an undignified way to go, by the way.
I mean, what a jerk, too.
Yeah, and then
I can't even imagine.
And then
not saying that killing was justified, but understandable that someone who's mentally unstable reacted in such a way.
Yeah, and then by the end of the season, he's like incinerated because he fell off a roof. I assume he's going to come back in the second season.
I don't remember if he does or not, personally, which is why I asked where his mental state was. But yeah, no. I remember a little bit from the Iron Fist show. I wish I remembered more. Again, I gotta watch it again. But yeah. So, was this a good season?
I would say it was a pretty strong season, actually. It hooked me a lot more than Luke Cage did at the beginning, because it actually gave us time with the characters, and we saw like the evolution. We saw like Joy and Ward when Danny first comes back, not really thinking it's him, which obviously, why would you?
Yeah, like 15 years of someone 15 being
years, and then all of a sudden this guy just shows up and says he's
the owner of
Danny.
The company.
Like, there's no way you would believe that.
Yeah.
And then like you obviously get the progression of like Danny's character coming home, and like he left when he was like a teenager.
Yeah.
So he's obviously going to be like unexperienced when it comes to like certain things.
He's out
like,
of place.
Adults like would know and understand.
Not to mention the culture shift just from time is not going to be the same as when he left either. So yeah. But no, I remember.
And then his relationship with Colleen, one of my favorite relationships in the whole MCU at this point. Like they had a really, really fun dynamic.
No, I like those two. In the show for sure.
I was really scared at the point where we realized that Colleen was a member of the Hand. I figured that she was because she was always depicted as wearing like red.
Yeah.
And it was just like, why is this random ninja woman here? Like, I understand it's like a show about the martial arts and everything, but is she gonna tie in at all? And the only way I could figure she'd tie in is whether she was a member of the of Kunlun, or if she was a member of the Hand.
Yeah.
So
both would have made sense, honestly, for the show. And I think that's one of the strong points is that it was like, oh yeah, there's a couple possibilities. Not treating you like an idiot and like, oh, she's just there, like you'll never know why, kind of thing. Like I hate when shows do that.
Yeah, but they do sprinkle it in. They sprinkle some scenes in with the with her sensei. I cannot remember his name. But they do sprinkle in some scenes towards the beginning of the show with him, which hint that she's got like a bigger thing going on.
Yeah. And the villain Bakoto.
I think that's his name. Yeah.
I'm not sure of the pronunciation being right.
And Madame Gao gets a lot of representation in this season, more than she ever did in Daredevil.
Yeah. Well, I see. That's one of the things. Again, the Netflix shows did very well was building up to the other stuff.
Yeah.
Aside from Luke Cage, which I think its build up was worse than all the others. I think Madame Gao being built up in Daredevil.
It doesn't really tie in.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of the other shows, we get a lot of references to the other shows. Not only do we get Claire in the this is the worst Claire has been so far. Why?
Yeah,
Claire should not be fighting ninjas. I don't care if she's had martial arts training for 2 weeks. There's no way she's actually holding her own.
No, not against hand ninjas, and definitely
I don't care if you have
even low hands
on your hand. Like I don't care. Like you should not be able to fight them.
Yeah.
And we get the lawyer from Jessica Jones. I can't remember her name.
I don't know her name.
Yeah,
so.
I know. It'll come to me later in the episode, probably. I don't know. But we get a lot of references to that. We hear a lot about the incident, which obviously is still referencing the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Or it could be referencing Sokovia at this point.
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, Iron Fist is 2017.
Yep.
So that would have been what? That would have been Civil War.
Yeah,
right?
Somewhere around there.
Jeez, crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But actually, no, it would have been later than Civil War, right? Because Civil War was 15, right? So this would have been like around Infinity War, before Infinity War. Around that. Anyways, I could be completely wrong. I know this one was 2017, but I don't know which movies were 2017 for MCU. Not yet. We haven't gotten to those ones yet.
Nope.
But CGI and stunts. What'd you think for this one?
I've heard a lot of people talk about how the actor that plays Danny in this show didn't train a lot for the role, and he didn't like learn any martial, which isn't true.
Yeah, no, that's
like there are a lot of really great fight scenes in this show, and Danny is like depicted as a really good martial artist.
If I remember correctly, the actor who plays Danny, he already did like 5 years of martial arts training before he became an actor.
Yeah, so
and then he did like refresher courses when he came into the
so
role
I don't
of
know.
Iron Fist.
I don't know what they were talking about.
It was probably more of like everyone heard, oh, he only took like a couple weeks before filming because he did 5 years before, so he didn't need the intense training before.
Yeah, but a lot of these fight scenes were really good. I don't think any of them top any Daredevil fight scene for me.
Definitely not. But they're still good.
They were definitely handled really well.
Yeah, yeah. And then CGI, I'm trying to remember. I know the plane scene that actually, is that in season 1?
It is.
Okay.
It is where the mom gets ripped out of the ceiling. Yeah. That
I
looked
remember that being iffy at parts, but I also remember a lot of it being practical actually. And
Yeah.
then it's just like the CGI that they use is so off-putting that it makes it look so fake. And it was like, man, come on. It looks so good when you see the practical stunts done.
Yep.
But yeah. How do you think this season fits into the MCU?
Overall, I think it fits in pretty well. I would have liked to have maybe a couple more like name drops, especially since we're dealing with like a more corporate side of the MCU in this with Rand as a company. I would have liked to have maybe a mention
Some
of
Hammer Tech
Hammer Tech or even a name drop of Stark Industries or something along those lines.
I mean, Rand's supposed to be a drug company in this show, right? And then
I think so, yeah.
And then
but I mean, Tony talks about like pharmaceutical stuff.
For sure. I'm just saying like Hammer Tech wouldn't have made quite as much sense as like Stark.
And I also do love how you can see everyone's perspective on like the issues that are brought up.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I think it was the second or third episode where this new drug comes out and it's like a cure for some like disease that people are getting from like bad water, I think. And it costs like $5 for them to make it, and they're gonna sell it for $50.
Yeah.
And Danny's like, no, that's not right. You should sell it at
$5.
Yeah, at $5. And everyone's like, that's not how business works. We need to make a profit so we can continue producing. Yeah. And Danny's like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, just give people what they need to survive. Which, like, yeah, that's what should be happening. But then again, we live in the real world where you do need to.
Yeah, and if it's going to cost you more money to research other things down the line, you need to fund that kind of thing. And yeah, I do remember even with this like one being good at balancing that.
Or even with the plant that the chemical plant where it's like it gave this kid cancer and Danny apologizes to the
which
mother,
causes
and then it causes them to get kicked out of the company because Danny was just trying to comfort this woman, and it was all like a ploy from the woman's lawyer, and that was just like really like a real thing. Like people just take things out of context and then spin it in their own way to get what they want. And it really did show a good angle of like the corporate side of the Marvel universe.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, Iron Fist is really the only one to do like, I mean, Iron Man 1 kind of leans into it a little bit, but Iron Fist is like the only one, like if you're the leader of a major company, like there's a lot that has to be done, and Iron Fist, I think, is one of the ones that makes more reference to possibly getting Heroes for Hire than either of the Luke Cage seasons, and unfortunately, I think more than season 2 does, if I remember correctly. But yeah, no, my memories of Iron Fist season 1 are pretty good, and the father character going insane, I think the actor does it almost too well.
He does play it really well. I like the scene or the montage, I guess it would be, where he comes back from the dead after Ward put him in the lake, and like he's like a child, and he's just like wandering the streets of New York, and then he comes to this hot dog stand, and he's like, that smells good, and he just puts his hand in the boiling water to grab a hot dog, and he's like, ow, and then he just pukes up a bunch of water, and the guy's like,
what is going on?
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this guy thinks he's on crack. For sure. Like he thinks that this is a druggy
some druggies kid who got a little bit of it or something. Yeah. But yeah, no, I remember not enough of the show, but remember liking the show a lot. Favorite episodes of this season?
My favorite episodes were episode 10 and 12.
So right near the end.
Right near the end is where it really like ramps up. But I think all the episodes in the first season were pretty well.
If I remember correctly, episode 12 is Bakoto and Colleen's confrontation.
Yeah,
right?
their fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that fight. Not like extremely well, but I remember that fight happening.
Yeah,
so
because
obviously it was a little bit more
you get 2
memorable.
fights in that scene. You get the fight with Colleen and her master, and then after that fight's over, you get the fight between Iron Fist and his friend from Kunlun. I can't remember his name either. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. But they're both really well shot fights because you get one where Colleen and her master are out in the rain, dueling with their swords, and
Yeah.
oh my god, one of the most badass moments is when the master goes, a fighter is only as strong as his weapon, and then breaks her sword in half, and the one half goes flying up into the air. So Colleen jumps up and kicks the
Kicks
part of
the
the sword
blade.
that was broken off into his leg and goes, "It's not about how strong the weapon is; it's about how you use it." And I lost my mind.
Yeah.
That was insane.
That was a pretty hype
insane.
part.
And then even after that, you get a really well choreographed fight between Iron Fist and his friend, and they're under this like
under
coliseum,
the
and
bridge.
it looks really, really cool.
Yeah. And you have like the glowing from the Iron Fist happening and everything, which
and the Iron
the
Fist
scene really
effect
well.
looks so good.
I really did like the Iron Fist
I
effect.
would have preferred if maybe they had given like him like
some wrappings or something.
No, like a glowing like radius around his hand, because that's what it's always depicted as.
Yeah,
it's like a flame coming from his hand, but I like how they just did like the inside of it glows in the show, because that's more realistic, I guess.
It works.
You wouldn't just have your hand like erupt into energy. It would like come from inside of it.
Yeah, and I do remember liking the effects in this one a lot.
My one complaint about the show is that we never see him wear the yellow mask. Yeah. Which I know we do see in the second season, but I've heard that's only like a quick training montage, and then he never wears it again.
Yeah, I think it's one of the flashbacks to Kunlun, and they show him wearing it for a second, and then that's it.
Yeah. And it would have been so easy to fit it in too. Like you could have,
make him think, oh, I need to hide my identity.
Or it could have even just been something he brought with him from Kunlun, and anytime he goes into like a fight or something, he puts it on. Or it could have even been like, I don't want to wear this, but then at the final episode he puts it on or something like that. It would have been better than just not having it at all, because that's like Iron Fist's signature. Like it's such a unique mask design where it's got the cut off here, and then it has it flows down. It's sort of like the Daredevil season 1 mask design, except it has the eyes.
Yeah. Favorite characters of the season?
Obviously Danny.
Yeah.
He's a really endearing character because, like I said before, he is like a child. Not a child, but he's like he has childlike sensibilities.
He's naive to
he believes
the corporate
in right
world.
and wrong. He just wants to do the right thing.
Yeah, he's naive to the corporate world, which they did well for this show.
Yep. Colleen, another one of the standouts of this show. She had a really, really interesting arc, and I like how at the beginning of the show, she didn't really want anything to do with Danny, and then like their love story kind of grew because of their mutual mutual understanding of each other.
Yeah.
And then Madame Gao was actually one of my favorite characters in the season.
Gao was really good.
She really got a lot of character development, and the way she like played that master manipulator for Danny, trying to get him to kill Ward's father.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember his name either. If I remember correctly, Iron Fist is season 1 at least has the least amount of sex scenes in.
It only has 1.
Yeah. Well, I guess Daredevil season 1. No, Daredevil season 1 had 1 too, so it's one of the lesser raunchy ones. Of the
and it's not depicted as like an animalistic thing like it was in like Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. It's depicted as these two people genuinely fell in love, and that's how it's depicted. We see them like wake up next to each other a couple times, which implies that they did stuff,
but you don't need to spell it out every time.
We don't need a flashback.
We don't need a flashback, Luke Cage. There was a character that I did want to bring up, and now I'm forgetting who it was. Ward's character. Like, what did you think of Ward's character?
I thought he was a really, really interesting character, because you can obviously see that, yes, he does have a lot of problems, but you also understand that a lot of those problems are directly because of his father.
Yeah.
Like, his father is a master manipulator. He understands how to get what he wants from his kid. He knows how to get the emotion out of him.
Oh, yeah.
And when Ward stabbed his dad, I was like, yeah.
I was like, okay,
go ahead. Yeah, do you.
Yeah. And then Joy.
Joy was kind of annoying.
She was really annoying, and the only reason I think I liked Ward as much as I do is because of how much I hated Joy in this season. Like, but yeah, that was a while ago. But I just remember every time Joy was on screen, I was like, Ward, say something stupid to her just so she gets out of the scene.
And the Ward like drug use arc in the show, I cannot believe. Obviously, they couldn't show him actually doing
like injecting himself or anything.
But the way that they kind of got around it was very effective, where it's a new strain of it. It's stronger. So you don't have to show that, but the effect is still the same.
Yeah.
And it's really a fascinating look, especially on like, once you're that rich and powerful and you have nothing left to do, why not?
What else is
and the effect it can take on your mental state and your body. And one of the not funniest, but one of the most interesting characters was the therapist, Danny's therapist, when he was committed to the psych ward. Because at first
I'm not even remembering.
He doesn't. So Danny gets committed to
I do remember
psychiatric hospital.
I do remember.
And at the beginning, he's talking to Danny, and he's like, "So you believe you're Danny Rand? That's not possible. He's dead. You think you went into this magical space world and were trained by monks? That's not possible either." But then as Danny like talks to him, he starts to think like he knows things he shouldn't know. And then he calls Joy and is like, "What did you do this day after you filmed this like ad for the company?"
Yeah.
And she confirms Danny's story to the letter.
Yeah.
Like it's an exact, like she tells the exact same story.
Memories.
And he realizes, oh my God, this is the real Danny Rand. Yeah. And then he goes in and talks to Danny and is like, "I believe you're Danny Rand, but there's still no possible way that you come from an ancient society of monks and that you were trained by warriors." And I would have really liked to see his reaction at the security camera footage of Danny just blowing the wall out of the psychiatric hospital to be like, okay, so that is possible.
So I guess it is possible.
Which, why wouldn't you believe that?
At this point,
you got the Hulk running around.
Even if this happens, say Ant-Man, like you've already had Age of Ultron, you've had Avengers 1, like you've had Thor: The Dark World, like
like anything's possible.
Anything's kind of possible at this point. But anything else that stood out to you?
Just the way that the characters interact with each other, I thought was really interesting, and the way that the characters develop throughout the season. I know I said that at the beginning already, but I really want to bring attention to the fact every character in the show has an arc.
Yeah,
Danny has an arc of becoming more of a businessman and then falling out of that to do the right thing. Colleen has the arc of falling out with the hand. You have
Ward
and Joy. Ward abandoning his father and Joy finding him and joining him. You have the father who goes on his whole arc.
His insanity arc is probably the best.
Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention. Colleen, one of my favorite sort of one of the things that gave away that she's probably in the hand was the underground fight club. Because that was a really interesting little plot line, little through line that they just threw in there that you only get like 2 or 3 scenes of. But I thought it was really interesting where you can see like some of the anger that she's holding inside.
Yeah.
And that when she was fighting, she wasn't doing it just for the money. She was doing it kind of.
She was doing it as a release. And personally, I think that's where Shang-Chi got its idea from. Just saying.
It could be. I really want to see Iron Fist.
I know. I really want to see Iron Fist.
Because we have because they could already be tied in with each other. With the dragon from Kunlun.
Yeah.
Could the dragon from Kunlun be related to the 2 dragons that we see in Shang-Chi?
So, little bit of a spoiler for season 2.
Don't spoil it.
Okay.
Just don't tell me.
I won't spoil it. But they go to Kunlun and you'll have to have different theories.
Okay.
And
is it not a real dragon?
I won't say anything because that will spoil.
Okay. If it's like a hallucination dragon,
I'm not going to say anything that will spoil it. But it's not a hallucination dragon.
Okay. Thank you. Because I saw like the scene where he's on the rooftop. He sees like these 2 glowing lights, and he like flashes back to the cave.
The cave,
and you see the eyes, and I'm like,
yeah. It's like,
are they gonna be like, it's not a real dragon?
That?
It's like Luke when he goes into the cave and he sees Darth Vader. It's like not
It's
real.
just a projection of your own subconscious manifesting kind of thing.
And
but
another thing, little complaint I have about the show: why are they so scared of putting Iron Fist in green?
I have no
Like,
idea.
I don't think
like,
he wears green like more than twice in the entire show.
Yeah,
and that's literally his color: green and yellow, or gold and white. They don't put him in gold and white either.
Yeah, I kind of wish they had done like a joke, because yellow belt is like the second level for karate and stuff.
Mhm.
If when he went and was doing like karate practice with Colleen, she gave him a yellow belt and a white gi, like that would have been a really funny
little
nod to him. And then also it would have been a funny karate joke, because it would have been like, oh, she thinks of him as low level kind of thing.
And then one more thing that I do want to add. So we've gotten some recent updates about Daredevil Born Again Season 3.
Yes.
We know that they're going to be adapting the storyline Devil in Cell Block D. Is it D? Yeah, I think it's Devil in Cell Block
I mean,
D.
it would make sense, because then you have Daredevil in the D cell.
So in that storyline, Danny Rand actually takes over the Daredevil persona for a little while, and it is confirmed that this actor is reappearing in Daredevil Born Again Season 3 as Danny Rand. I think we could get that storyline. I think it would be really cool.
It would be really cool. And it would be really fun, in my personal opinion. One, because it follows comic storyline. Two, we get more of Danny Rand's character, and specifically this version of Danny Rand, because I do like him.
Because I think what they're attempting to do with Daredevil Born Again Season 3 is sort of making a pseudo Defenders season. Because we know Jessica Jones is going to be in it. Luke Cage will be in it, and we know Iron Fist will be in it. We obviously know Daredevil's going to be in it.
Yeah.
So I think what they're going to do is they're going to have 4 different concurring storylines. They'll have Luke Cage running for either mayor of New York City or something along those lines. You'll have Iron Fist attempting to take over the mantle of Daredevil. You'll have Daredevil in prison, and then you could have Jessica Jones be on the outside, maybe trying to clear Matt's name as like a private eye. And I think that'd be a really, really interesting way to go about it, especially since we know that the Hand will be involved in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yes.
And there have shots of prison. I think it would be really interesting if on the outside of the prison, it's Danny Rand fighting in the Daredevil suit. And we don't get revealed that until we go into the prison and we see Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock. And then it's revealed that it's Danny Rand taking over for Daredevil.
So you're thinking that there's a possibility of, I can't remember his first name, but I remember his last name. What's his first name? Gosh, something Finn. I can't remember his first name for whatever reason. But if we get him in No Way Home, I think that'd be really
Brand New Day.
Or Brand New Day. Yeah. Sorry, a lot more on my mind.
Because if the Hand does show up in Brand New Day, Iron Fist is set out to destroy the Hand.
Yeah.
And then that could also set up Daredevil Born Again Season 3, where we have the Hand being a main antagonist in that season.
Yeah. And see, there is one thought that just crossed my mind. What if those shots were not from Born Again Season 3? Because Tom Holland himself said they were doing reshoots, a couple of reshoots for Brand New Day.
They said that they were adding a villain storyline. Could it be Kingpin that they're adding into Brand New Day?
It's possible. No, I won't say it's not possible.
I'm so excited for Brand New Day. I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm definitely still excited for Brand New Day a lot. But again, I do have the feeling that if they're not careful, it's going to be a very bloated movie and could be worse. But
I feel like that could also play to the movie's strength. I feel like what they need to do if they're going to have a movie this huge is act like it's not a big deal. Because you obviously have comic book storylines where characters, they just come in and they go out. Literally, the storyline after the death of Gwen Stacy shows Spider-Man fighting Luke Cage. Like, characters, they just come in and then they leave the story whenever they want. I feel like what you could do is literally have the Hand going after Matt Murdock just be a quick scene, and then we don't get any more information about it until Daredevil Born Again Season 3. And then you could still have the main villain obviously being Tombstone, and it wouldn't really have to tie in. It could just be a quick little side adventure Spider-Man had to go deal with.
Yeah. No, I don't know. There's a lot you could say could happen in it, and there's a lot that, if it does happen in it, might make it too much. But yeah, again, I'm thinking like we have Doomsday is reportedly 3 hours 25 minutes right now. If Brand New Day ends up being like a 3-hour movie, not that I'd be upset about it, but
the general audience,
the general audience tends to be, unless it's a major event such as an Avengers movie, it's not gonna do as well if it's 3 hours long. Like, but and it's not gonna be done well unless it's 3 hours long. So,
How do you feel that it's been reported that Avengers Doomsday 90% of the CGI is going to be AI?
I hate that so much.
I know, I do too.
I'm so worried. When I saw that, I was like, please, no. I was like, you are trying to kill yourself. Like this, like why? One, would you announce it?
Yeah, like why even say that?
Two,
and then tell the fans they just have to deal with it.
Yes, that
I feel like the only way that it will work is if somehow you tie it into the story. Like, the reason it's going on is it's meant to feel off and wrong.
I don't know.
But I still don't even like that explanation.
All I can think of is, like, the AI clips we've had, which I'll say are cool, but they're only cool because I know they're AI and they're prompted, and, like, you have Tobey Maguire Spider-Man versus Captain America. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I've seen a couple of those.
Several times during that clip, Captain America ends up with 2 shields after throwing one at Spider-Man, and it's like,
what's going on?
So obviously the AI is not in a place where you could use it to make a movie. Even the most advanced ones, like the most that I would say you could make is maybe a 5-minute thing. But even then, the inconsistencies from scene to scene are going to be obvious, and it's going to pull anyone who's watching it completely out of the movie.
Yeah.
And
okay, we still need to rank this show.
Yes, you gotta rank it. Where do you think it goes?
I think I'm gonna put this at the top of B. Above Luke Cage.
Above Luke Cage. That makes sense. Me personally, I liked it more than Luke Cage, so makes sense in my mind.
I don't think it's an A-tier show. I don't think it's alongside Jessica Jones in the way the story was told, but I do think it is better than Luke Cage.
It's a very high B for sure.
It's a very high B.
Probably top of the B if
we're putting movies.
If I have to guess your rankings for the rest of them, I don't think there's going to be any Bs that go above Iron Fist Season 1. Just as my guesses go.
All right.
But Season 2, and unfortunately, I would not raise your hopes too much. There's a couple of great episodes, and there's a lot of rough episodes in Season 2, which is, again, why I think people don't remember Season 1 very fondly, but...
All right, well, something to look forward to.
Yeah.
With that being said, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and do all of the things. I am Bladen, that is Joe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Which will be Homecoming, right?
Homecoming will be our next movie, and then we get into The Defenders.
Yep.